I believe you are where you're meant to be. You are where you're meant to be. And I say this because we all have to go through things in order to grow. And every single phase we have in our life is just a continuous cycle of lessons and things we need to know and things we will soon have. But we just need to know what we need to know. Our lessons need to be learned. And however we learn it, it'll show up eventually. And we have to be open to that lesson. We have to be open to the lesson that shows itself to us, because we're going to continuously make the same mistake, bump our heads over and over and over and over until it finally hits and we can move on. We can go to our next lesson and just continuously grow. And I believe that, we are where we are right now because it's where we need to be. Because maybe we aren't ready for what's to come. We aren't ready for the end goal yet. There's still more to learn. There's still more to grasp. There's still more to do and achieve. And I believe that it's just allowing yourself to make mistakes, allowing yourself to learn the lessons that are needed in order to become that person you set yourself out as to be. And even so, it's like you have to actually put yourself in the state to make those mistakes. You have to allow yourself to be open enough to make those mistakes. And by open, I mean just vulnerable, able to just be, in a sense, hurt. Because failure it's not easy. It's not easy at most of the time, especially when we aren't used to it. Especially when a lot of us are just used to quick and easy fixes, a quick remedy instead of the cure. Action is always better than inaction, disguised as waiting for the right moment. Because action, even though you may make as many mistakes as you do, as many failures as you may have, you are still making more progress than someone who's waiting for that right moment, waiting for the supposed right moment when there never will be one. The only moment we have is now. The only chance we can truly grasp is right now, and that's the only time we can take an opportunity. Because the future isn't necessarily visible, it isn't necessarily clear, and the past is non-attainable. It's in the past. And I feel like we wait for the right moment when we have things sorted out, when we have our mind right, when we have our money right, when we have all these other variables which may not necessarily even have to be considered in order to start. It just seems like an excuse to not go for it, an excuse to delay your action. And you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. Is this truly just what I want? Is this truly what I want? Is this the direction I want my life to go in? And every single step, every single action I take, every single moment I express myself, is this the picture I want to paint? Is this the picture I want to paint for myself? Because, sure, it may hurt right now. It may hurt, making the mistakes. It may hurt. And it's the lesson that we need to learn in order to achieve the next step in our own life, in our own plan. But you suffer right now, so it's easier tomorrow. You suffer in the present moment, so your future is easier in the sense that, there's less friction involved in the ongoing trials and errors of our own life. We make the mistakes right now, so we save time on the future too. But also it's like we don't have to bear more burdens of more mistakes and having it hit harder, knowing full well that we could have learned it sooner, knowing full well that lesson could have been taught a lot sooner. And you know, as far as as far as I'm concerned, it's like, you know, a lot of our own life is just out of movement, out of flow, out of just change. Because change is constant. Change will always happen. You look at society through whatever time frame you want to look at, whether it's 100 years, 10 years, 5 years, a year, it is constantly changing. Whether it's the people in the society and their own ideas and how life is shaped and viewed, or even just the technology and the way of living changes over the course of time. You know, everything changes. Everything will change. The river will change because the water flows out and new water comes in, you know. And even our own body, the cells change within, if I remember correctly, it was in 10 years, every single cell in our own body has been replaced in a sense. So even our body changes. And of course, that's obvious, our body changes, right? We go through puberty, our adolescence, and then we grow into adults, and then it's constantly changing. So who's to say you can't change your own life, your own mindset, your own attitude, your own perspective? And you have to be open to those lessons. You have to be open to those messages when it's there for you. Because again, you are where you need to be. You need to learn what you need to learn in order to progress for the future. Because I feel like we take for granted the moment now. We take for granted what is here right now, trying to see the end result, trying to see the end goal. And we get so lost in that end goal that we miss what is here right now. We miss and constantly just hit our heads against the same wall over and over until it's like, I can't keep doing that. And isn't that the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. And who knows if there's a next time, honestly. Who knows if there's a next time? Because again, the future isn't guaranteed. And of course, that sounds like a dark thought, a very narrow-ended thought, because it is. But it's just looking at it, it's like we don't know when the next time will be guaranteed. We don't know what it is to come, in a sense where it's like anything can happen, you know? Anything can happen. And it just gets me thinking about the idea of safety. You know, safety, as in, what is safety? Because, you know, people say get a safe, secure job. People say just stick to the normal route. And is that really safe? Go to college. Everything has its own risk. Everything has its own risk. There's a chance of it messing up, things going wrong. Entirely possible. And now I'm not gonna say I'm just thinking of that constantly 24/7, that's running through my mind. No, I'm just saying that is a possibility. And if you look at it, it's like, if we look at nature and just animals, what animal is the safest? What animal is the safest? It's the one that is the biggest threat. The animal that is the biggest threat is the safest. And I say that it's like, because there's such a threat that no animal will dare to try and attack it, in a sense. And of course there's, you know, obviously chances where it does happen, but I'm just saying in the overall aspect, it's like it can hold its own, and other animals will know that, and they won't try and test it for the fear of seeing what happens, in a sense. And for as long as I've thought about it, you know, we only have right now, and we are where we need to be. Sometimes the message seems so clouded. You can't seem to focus on what is the message. What am I trying to be taught? Where is the lesson? And sometimes it seems so clouded because there's so much going on in our own life. There's so much going on in our own life. I can't disregard that. I can't say you're not having your own struggles. I can't say you're not having your own battles that you're fighting with. And I guess that in itself is its own lesson. But it's like, what do I learn from it? What is the key essential things I need to learn? And who knows? We're all on our own path, our own journey, and it's like we all have our lessons learned at different times. And there's still more to learn, there's still more to come. But you'll never truly figure out what is the message and the meaning of everything. You'll never learn what is the purpose of your own life, in a sense. You'll never figure out why am I stuck if you never take the time to reflect. You never take the time to just sit there and say, where did I go wrong? Where did I go wrong? What is life trying to show me? Where can I improve? And what is improvement? Why do I want to improve? But I guess just to end it all off, you know, we are where we need to be. And I don't even want to say you deserve what you deserve, because a lot of times things happen to us which we don't deserve. Because, you know, there's a lot of terrible things that happen to kind people, and it's like, it hurts to see, truly hurts to see good people get hurt, you know. So I don't want to say that. I just want to say we all have our own experiences that we learn from in order to progress to a better life, in order to progress to a better environment, and to a new area of our own life. Because we can't be the same person going into a new area expecting more. We are constantly evolving and changing, and just, in a sense, getting rid of old parts of ourselves. And that's what it truly is. I feel like we just get rid of old parts of ourselves that no longer are needed or no longer are necessary, as, you know, you can't make a new house carrying the same old bricks. You can't build a new house using the same bricks that you've had. It has to be new material, because that old material is not as stable, it's not as firm, it's not as reliable as the new you. And I just want to leave it off there, honestly. This was something that's always just been on my mind. It's been on my mind, and I wanted to talk about it. Oh wow, that had some horses. That had some horses. Well, honestly, it was always there. It was always there in the back of my mind, and I wanted to talk about it. I truly wanted to talk about it, because even right now, I'm still figuring a lot out. I'm still learning. I am not above you. I am just as human as you are, and I'm just sharing my own experiences, my own life, and seeing how that reflects, I guess. But you know, I just want to leave it off there. Just love you forever and always. See ya.